Wohin bin ich? Where am I?
Fresno,
Where's Fresno?
California.
California. Last I heard, me and Fred were writing the Communist Manifesto, and California had just been annexed by the U.S. I hear you speaking English, so I imagine they're still annexed by the U.S.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's when Fred woke me up. First time he woke me up, I popped up in a place called Soho, which I thought I was still in London. But no, I was in New York. And there were some things I needed to set straight. Now, Fred gets up, drips on me, wakes me up again. He says, hey, Mary and Elizabeth are going back and forth. And Elizabeth says, hey, the Californians, they're trying to break free from the United States. And Mary says to her, no, that would be like Ireland breaking free of the UK. Is Ireland still part of the UK?
I don't know the answer to that.
Ireland isn't a part of Britain, or is it?
Again, not really clear to me.
Font of information. Well, what year is it?
2020.
Oh, 2020. Who's got anything to worry about? I mean, by now, the world should be run by freely associated producers, yeah? We were fighting that in the 19th century, yeah?
No. Sorry, that didn't
Oh my
work
God.
out that way.
You mean you haven't abolished capitalism yet?
No, there's a couple people talking about it, but it's still here big time.
Oh, scheiße in Wand.
I didn't pick that up.
That's so much. So, Freddie, he woke me up and he says, yeah, Californians are planning to free themselves from the United States in 2020. The Americans took your country in when I was writing the manifesto in 1848, yeah? It's been a while. Why? Why are you planning to leave the United States?
We have a different culture than the Americans, and we are financially abused by them, much the same way that you said the capitalist system would financially abuse the workers for the owners.
Yeah. So you're planning at least, the workers of California are at least planning to emancipate themselves, yeah?
All Californians are planning to emancipate themselves, workers and property owners together, because they think that it would be a more fair economy if they were independent from the influence of America and particularly New York bankers.
Well, what about the American workers? Are they planning to emancipate themselves?
I have no idea.
Well, at least you would be a country emancipated from your United States, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, in my day, there were some southern states that were planning to do that so that they could maintain slavery, yeah? And so we opposed that. Are you Californians planning to maintain... Is slavery still around, by the way?
Slavery's not around, basically. And no, we're not going to support slavery. We're against that. Slavery was never allowed in California, ever.
And what about the United States? I remember they defeated it, yeah? What became of the slaves?
Well, they basically lived in a subjugated form of citizenship for about the next century after the Civil War. Didn't really get their rights. Then they had an African-American president. He really didn't get them their rights. Then they had to take to the streets and burn down 20 cities to actually get people to pay attention about their rights.
Oh, sounds
and
sounds
they
like
still
my house.
haven't gotten their rights.
Oh, my God. So, I assume that the part of your liberation is theirs, yeah?
Yes.
And tell me, how about the first inhabitants? How are they doing?
They are doing okay, but they could be doing better. And we at an Independent California want to start by having all government-controlled land by the American government returned to them.
It's a more radical proposition, I think, than they themselves have made, which I think is very encouraging. I seem to recall reading in my history books, because this had already happened by the time we were writing the manifesto, Fred and I, that there was a conflict over returning mission lands to them. Yeah?
Yes, there was. Yeah.
Who won?
So basically, there was a group that wanted the land returned to the missions. Then there was a group who didn't want the land returned to the missions.
Mm-hmm.
Together, they kicked out the Mexican government for 10 years, from 1836 to 1846. And right after, they were have a battle between themselves on who was going to win with the idea of mission land being returned to the indigenous. There was a battle. Then the Americans invaded. They had to stop that. Then turned to fight the Americans. Then the Americans conquered all of them, and it was taken over by the U.S.
Oh, I've read stories of how they did in the U.S. It must not have gone well for them. So California is seeking its independence, and it's not about slavery. Who is your president now?
We don't have one. We have a governor.
And who is the United States president?
His name is Donald Trump.
Trump! Oh no! I knew I had Trump. He was always selling land that didn't belong to him and borrowing money he never ever paid back. This wouldn't be the descendant of that Trump, do you think?
I'm not 100% sure, but probably.
Oh, scheisse. And he was actually elected?
Yes, by a majority of Americans outside of California. 51% of the American population outside of California said that that was the best representation of an American in November 2016.
Was he ever in office before 2016?
No.
How did they know this Trump?
TV.
What's that?
It's a picture box that shows you a bunch of images with sound attached to it.
So they actually built those. There were people talking about those. They actually build them, and you watch them, and you see what?
Images, like pictures with sound and light.
Wow. I've been out for a few years. That must be something to see, but I saw some of that when I was in Soho, and it was quite remarkable. So, you're planning to reestablish your independence, and not to reestablish slavery.
Correct.
But to move forward the cause of liberation.
Yes.
I I hope that the workers in California have their own independent say about that. I imagine they do, because in every capitalist society, they're in the majority. So if the workers are for it, there's no way anybody, I don't think, can stand against it. Yeah.